The Bears on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Now they face a 3rd and 15 here following the delay of game. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Caught by Montgomery. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
At their own 20-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 6 there on the first down play. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season.
Mike, 58, right there. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready. Y'all playing the wrong foot.
Now on second and 16. Bridgewater buying time to his left. He's got Smith here. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Let's go now. 58, 58's Mike. Let's go. 58's the Mike. 58's the Mike.
Throwing on second and 14. Bridgewater. And that's complete. It's Allington. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Throwing is Bridgewater. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. From the 27, Trubisky, he'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, and it's 3rd and short. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. This time they stay on the ground. Space to maneuver at the 40, and all the way up to the 46. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Let's go.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Now the Notre Dame man. This is Theo Riddick. Ha-ha Clinton Dix there for the stop.
Clinton Dix running down. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 40-yard line.
From the 40 now on second down. Bridgewater airing it out for Hamilton. And this will be caught at the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
Watch twitch.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Khalil Mack in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Bridgewater being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Brings up third down.
Hey, check. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. That's it. 50. Switch.
Third and long for Bridgewater. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Terrific coverage in the end zone that time. Forced him out of the pocket to his right. I thought maybe try and run it there, but no one came open for him. Nice job by the defense of not getting out of their lanes.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though. 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To the outside, this is complete to Jackson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards in a Chicago first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. First down, a run with Cohen. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now, that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 37-yard line.
Check it back. Alert. Watch twist. 18.
On 2nd and 12, Trubisky. It's caught by Jackson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
It's a gain of 11, and it's third down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Alert. Who's off horses?
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Now McManus for the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Hey, watch it, watch it. Ran, go.
Back to the air, Trubisky after the pick six. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A 6-yard pickup.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
First down.
Now Trubisky to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack there by Bradley Chubb. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Trubisky. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
At their own 36-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they load him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Check 37. Check 37. No. Squeeze. Go. Check 3. Check 3.
On 1st down, Lindsey. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
They'll run here with Lindsey. They'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Phillip Lindsey, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos push further out in front.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Trubisky now off the bootleg. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Kill. Greystone, travel.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. He'll hit Jackson complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. The Bears on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing here, Trubisky. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Second and 10. It's Trubisky again. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Bears on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Trubisky looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. And an alley to run. And he's into the clear. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 29-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
From the 31, Trubisky. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Bradley Chubb able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 16. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
At the 39-yard line.
Slam. Joker. Stay at home.
Another run by Lindsey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Clinton Dix making the safety blitz look easy. Zooms in for the sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
This is taken at the 23. Cordell Patterson. Touchdown, Chicago. A 77-yard punt return. And the Bears get a bit closer. Point after, right down the middle. And that will shave one more off this lead. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes. Get out of there.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Broncos, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.